Shalom. Call Halor La Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world call God, by Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world call Jesus Christ. Once again, the true names of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom also to you brothers, you Akim, that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Shah. Shalom to you Akim. Shalom also to Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, the child whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all forefathers. Though you may look like the heathen nations, you're scattered amongst which the heathen nations, as you see in this chart, the nations starting from 2 on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people that you see here on this chart through the man, and if your spirit bear witness with this word, the truth, you can receive it. To the speckled bird, man, when the child this does apply to you, you are Israelites, though once again, you do look like the heathen. You're scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people in this chart. So you will have Israelites once again come looking like heathens, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse on down. Their spirit bear witness with this word, that they are the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shema Shah, and their lineage goes back to these people through the man, no matter what they come looking like. Also, to the few Akwaf, you few Israelite sisters that do listen, learn, and believe, and do honor your husband, Shalom. To the elect of Israel, Shalom to you as well. To so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you combine, consist to make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, who the world even calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. Alright, and I actually just want to play a video. Alright. Turn it up.
And 10 counts of attempted murder following an investigation into baby deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital. 30-year-old Lucy Letby has been rearrested as part of an investigation which began in 2017. Our correspondent Judith Moritz is there for us tonight. Judith.
Yes, Sophie, 3 years after the police began their investigation into the deaths of babies at this hospital tonight, one of its former nurses is accused of multiple counts of murder and attempted murder. The families of 18 babies are being given support as they come to terms with this news. Well, the nurse Lucy Letby has been on bail for much of the last 2 years. Cheshire Police say that their investigation has taken so long because it's been highly complex and extremely challenging, and they say that they've consulted a number of medical specialists to ensure that it's been as thorough as possible. Lucy Letby once posed for photos in her uniform, telling her local paper in 2013 that she enjoyed nursing babies as she could see them progress and support their families. Now she's suspected of murdering 8 infants and trying to kill another 10. The 30-year-old worked in the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital. In 2017, the hospital called in the police, having become aware of a greater than usual number of baby deaths and babies at risk of dying between June 2015 and June 2016. Lucy Letby was first arrested in July 2018. Her home nearby was sealed off and forensic officers searched the house and garden. The nurse was arrested again a year later, and then yesterday she was arrested for a 3rd time. Cheshire Police said they made the arrest based on further information.
So you see, how these people think, these Edomites, alright, so-called white people. You see what they're about. You see, this woman murdered, 8 babies. And then they said she was planning on, murdering another 10, if not more. You see, because that's what they could just be telling you, That's like, and then on top of that, alright, they said, she's been investigated before off of some sort of incident like this, but they still allowed her to continue working there. Wouldn't it be a good idea, to put her aside, or to make her, step out of that type of work field, until, things got cleared up? Alright, but that's these people though. Let me get that. If you go into curses, alright. It's Deuteronomy 28. And 15 says, but it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, thy power to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes I command, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, man. And this will befall you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, for disobedience. And one of them, all right, let me see. All right, was what? This is the 48th verse says, therefore shall I serve thine enemies, which who are the enemies of our nation, man? It's these heathen nations, but the top enemy nation is the nation of Edom. All right, the people in power right now. All right, says, which the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And you know who put chains on you off them slave ships? All right, it was Esau. Okay, just look up yoke of iron, you'll see what pops up. And it says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, all right, as swift as the eagle, that's the key sign, eagle, flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right, when Christopher Columbus, or Cristobal Colon, which is his real name, all right, when he came, okay, to conquer, he went all the way to the other side of the earth to what? Conquer the northern kingdom, all right? And then you had them come all the way back to the so-called New World, man. You see? That's what they did, man. They traveled wherever you Israelites was. These Edomites traveled there just to what? To slay you and put you in captivity. All right? And to scatter you. All right? That's what they've done. You see? And what? He beat, okay, the Hebrew out of you, because that's our original language, was the Hebrew. And then what did he do? He replaced the Hebrew, you speaking Hebrew, to speaking what? English. All right? Spanish. Okay? All these different languages, you know, Creole, you know, all those different languages, man. That's not our language. That's their language. You see? The 50th verse says, a nation that fears countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old. They don't care about old folks, man. Okay, these old folks, a lot of these old folks, especially here in America, they rely on so-called medication, pharmaceuticals, right? But that's really killing them, and they don't even know it. Okay, just like the vaccine that they trying to roll out, that's gonna kill people. All right, and he doesn't care about the old, nor show favor to the young, man. Whether it's, you know, a so-called, you know, young man, a teenager, or a baby, man. And this is that people right here. All right, this is, as you see right there, this is that people, man. They don't regard old nor young, man. Okay. If you go in the book of Maccabees, I'll just get that account. What they was doing, you know, to the babies in the ancient world, man. All right, our babies, in fact. You know. I actually get the account with Herod, all right, who was also an Edomite. This is Matthew 2:1. This is just one account, because there's plenty of accounts, but I'm just getting the one. All right, probably two. But Matthew 2:1 says, now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, because our people was being ruled over by these Edomites, man. All right, they were ruling over us during this time. All right, this was during the first Rome. Okay. Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. All right, so they wanted to know his whereabouts, and it was all, you know, deceit. You see, when Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with them, because they had our people in a lower state. They had our people subject onto them, and they knew Yahushua being born was what? Yahushua was a threat, okay, to their empire. All right, and when he was hope, you know, for our people. You see, just like in the time of Moses, Moses was the hope for our people. You see, the Most High set up Moses, raised up Moses, okay, to bring our people back. All right, it says, and when he gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Yahushua should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it was written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. All right, and he knew that. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned of Yahweh in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And so they fled, man. All right. The Heavenly Father had it to where they fled. All right. Let me see. All right. So let me keep going. It says, let me see. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in the dream. All right. The father Yahushua. But it says, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. All right, that was his true intent in destroying Yahushua. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord Yahweh by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth. So he was pissed off, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and all the coast of thereof from 2 years old and under, man. So he put a decree out that any baby, especially Israelite baby under, 2 and under, put him to death, because he wanted to get to Yahushua. All right. And according to the time which he had diligently inquired of wise, man. So this is the same mindset, man. He come in that same spirit, man. This is them. All over again. All right. All those spirits from then is what? Is back again. All right. And I'm not saying she's Herod, but I'm saying her nation is known for doing this. But that's just one. All right.
People have made sexual abuse claims against the Boy Scouts of America ahead of today's deadline to come forward. The more than 82,000 alleged victims span generations, as young as 9 years old as 95. The number of accusations is even greater than those against the Roman Catholic Church in the U.S. The Boy Scouts filed for bankruptcy protection before settling these abuse cases. Errol Barnett has the story of one man who says his nightmare lasted for years.
I was in there 5 minutes before he unzipped my sleeping bag, had his hand down my pants.
Gil Gale was just 11 years old when he says a scout leader first assaulted him during a campout in Alabama. Several years later, he says another scout leader violently assaulted him when he was around 13 years old.
He raped me, and I can tell you that I struggled with drugs and alcohol until I was 32.
Jeez.
And it also caused, I took a couple of swings at suicide. I was just in so much pain.
Gale is one of thousands who are currently accusing members of the Boy Scouts of America of sexual abuse.
This may be the largest child sexual abuse scandal in certainly America and maybe the world.
Michael Fowler.
That's crazy, man. The boys, so this is 82,000 cases, which I believe is more. 82,000 cases, man. Okay, with the Boy Scouts, man. You see? And this type of information came out, I believe, it was over a year or two ago, year or 2 or 3 ago, and it you didn't hear about it no more, but it's coming out again, because that's prophecy that which is hid shall be made manifest, man. All right, they could try to hide this all they want, but it's going to come out regardless. Heavenly Father's going to cause that Psalm 64:8, and their own tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. It's going to happen, man. This is the time for what? The wicked to be revealed, man. You being revealed, man. All right. These people are, let me just get one more. All right. This was 3 weeks ago.
No one can make the holidays how you make the holidays.
You could.
It's described as the largest statewide anti-human trafficking operations in Ohio's history. State and federal officials joined forces to help rescue more than 100 survivors. It's called Operation Autumn Hope, and this is footage of...
He's arresting the Edomite. All right? An Edomite. But they'll try to flip it and put Jake on the news. Make Jake look like, they're behind this. All right?
One of the raids in Ohio, where authorities took down 177 people involved in human trafficking, including 14 individuals
Edomites.
arrested in Mahoning.
It's all Edomites. All right? Let me play a little bit
County
more.
last week.
If you're using the internet to try and exploit or take advantage of underage individuals, we want it to be in the back of your head that you may be talking to one of us, and hopefully you will be talking to one of us. We're not going away. We're going to continue to do these types of stings.
109 survivors were rescued.
If that's the case, why don't you arrest these elites? Okay? The elites are real big in, this human trafficking, this child sex abuse. All right? Why ain't you arresting them? Because this whole thing, they're all a part of it, man. All right? This is how they get down. You see, this is how they get down. Let me get a scripture right quick. These people are completely vile, man. They psychopaths. That's really what it is, man. But you got Israelites that still think this nation of people is good. You just got some bad eggs, all right, amongst those good eggs. That's not the case, man. This whole nation is vile. This is Job 31. But now that are younger than I have me derision, whose fathers what I would have to stain to set with the dogs in my flocks, man. All right, and this is Job, because we was once the glory of the earth. We, aka you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, but now since we're in captivity, this man has made you to look like the bad guy, man. Okay, he's good. He's white. You see, he's pure. He's innocent. All right, you're the problem. That's what he's been able to do in this society. We've been made a derision, man. But he's the real problem. All right? He's the real criminal. He's the real fugitive. The scriptures call him a fugitive and a vagabond. But it says, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished, man. And speaking, Job said he wouldn't even have let them, be next to his dogs, man. And you can see why, man. All right? You see why on the day he was being around these Edomites, why he said what he said, man. All right, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cry after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. Because Caucasian what? Caucasus Mountains, man. All right, so you snitched on yourself, just calling yourself that. But it says among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools. Because that's really what Esau is, man. Esau, through his technology, through his science, all right? Through just those things, he's been able to persuade to the world, push the world that he was this wise, wise God. But which wisdom, okay, is given from on high, man. All right? And the Most High is what? Is there no more wisdom in teaming? The Lord's confounding and taking away that wisdom from Esau, man. And now you're seeing him for what he is, man. It's going to say it. They will children of base men, because that's really what they are. Base men. And where's the basement of your house? The basement of your house is at the bottom of the house, man. All right? Not the top, the bottom, man. All right? And that's really what these people are, but they were set up, okay? It was prophecy that they would come into power, and that's what we live in now. All right? So this man's nothing, significant, like you people think. You people have this man all hyped up. He's all hyped. That's what he really is, man. All right? He's a puppet of the Most High, man. Yahweh. They were viler than the earth, man. All right? The word vile, man. These people are vile, man. And I bet you a lot of the kids that was kidnapped was mostly boys, too. All right? The word is naka. It says to strike, to scourge, to smite. And that's not the definition. You see? It says to drive away. It looked like Esau changed it. That's all right. I'll just get it on. I'll get it on the internet. This Esau has changed the definition, so word gonna come out regardless if you don't like it. This vowel, it says extremely unpleasant. All right, morally bad and wicked, and they are the wicked, man. They're the wicked seed line, okay, on the planet Earth, man. And through them being in power, being the wicked, they spread wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth, man. All right, so let me get that. All right. All right, this is Psalms 12 and 8. It says the wicked walk on every side. All right, because he's in power. When the vilest men are exalted, man. Pedophiles, okay. I'm gonna just say LGBTQ, no. Sodomites, so I'll put it that way. All right, you got them, drag queens, which that's a part of that. Women out of order. All right, all these demonic abominations, okay, is exalted in this place because the man that's ruling, he is vile, man. All right, and they'll come on here and say we don't tolerate this type of behavior, which they do. All right, because it's rampant. It's rampant in the society. All right, if you didn't tolerate it, you wouldn't have it happen at all, man. And really, if you would have just ran, your system based off the law, statutes, and commandments, you wouldn't have this problem. All right, but the law, statutes, and commandments wasn't given, okay, to you. It was given to who? Yasha Allah. It was given to the Israelites, man. All right, the people you have in captivity, and the people that's fitting to rule over you next, okay? Because this is madness. All right, this is madness, and this stuff like this is swept under the rug, man. All right, but it's gonna come out. Like I said, it's gonna come out regardless, because the Most High ordained it to happen. All right, He ordained you to be exposed, and you're being exposed. All right. Let me look up one more article. It was an article. All right, this was November 11th, and this was the day that I believe YouTube went down. All right, I'm not gonna read this article. You can read it for yourself if Esau don't try to take it down. But this is on the Hill. All right, it says global child sex abuse network uncovered with ties to the U.S. Why is there not a coincidence? It says a tip earlier this year from the United States has led to uncovering of a major child sex abuse network in Australia with ties to the U.S., Canada, Asia, Europe, and New Zealand. And that's where most of the Edomites dwell. All right, according to the Associated Press, Australian authorities announced Wednesday that 16 men have been arrested in New South Wales, Queensland, and Western Australia in recent months on 828 charges of sexually abusing children, producing and distributing child abuse material, and bestiality, which that's also against the scriptures, man. Bestiality, man. That's according to the scriptures, that's a sin worthy of death. All right, you molesting a little boy, that's a sin worthy of death, man. All right. Like I said, I'm not gonna read. Hold on. It says Australia Federal Police Assistant Commissioner Justine Gao said that a child care worker and a children's soccer coach are among. Wow. So these is people that look like an average everyday person, man. All right, people that you wouldn't expect in this, but they are in it. It says child care worker and the children's soccer coach are among those facing charges. Gao added that investigators had identified a total of 46 victims in Australia as young as 16 months and no older than 15 years. So 16 months. All right. Like I said, you read the article for yourself. All right. These people are vile, man. All right. This is let me get this. I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 12, man. He's talking about you will be seeing us. Well, go see the leech then. All right. You people talk about Epstein Island. America is Epstein Island, man. All right. Epstein Island is a baby compared to America. This is the place of witchcraft, man. The mother of all harlots, man. You see? The mother of abominations. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12. Alright? And 1, it says, for thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chastise them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance when they have offended, that leaving their weakness they may believe on thee, O Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land. Alright, because who were the old inhabitants of the land of Israel, which it used to be known as the land of Canaan? It was them Hamites, man. And what were them Hamites doing? The same exact thing. Okay? It's going to go into it, with whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, which this place is full of that. Alright? In order to make it into Hollywood, what do you have to do? You have to do wicked sacrifices, man. Blood rituals, you see? You have to drink feces. You have to do all types of wicked, defiled things, man. Okay? And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh in the feast of blood, man. Alright? You don't think those elites, they eat blood or drink blood and eat flesh? Alright? This is what they do. And this what the Hamites was doing, okay, before the Lord drove them out of the land of Israel and gave it to us, man. Alright, and you are doing the same thing. All this is nothing new. They're doing the same exact thing. With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that kill with their own hands salute destitute of help. Alright? So this is what this place is all about, man. It's interesting. This is that secret that they don't want to come out, but it's out there now. Alright, don't forget about the churches, man. Especially the Catholic, man. All them child sex abuse cases from the decades. You know, people in their 70s coming out saying that they were raped by their pastor, man. Alright? This man is a psychopath. And what does it say? So I'm going to end it off in this. This is why this place is going to be destroyed. And it's justified. We're not just saying these things, you know, to, you're just bad and negative. No, this is why. Alright? The things that go on in society is wickedness. And it needs to be checked. It's actually 2. This man has gone unchecked from judgment for so long. Now, he's finna get judged for all his works, man. Alright? Let me see. Let me see. This is James 2:9 says, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced the law is transgressors. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. But he that said, do not commit adultery, saith also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. And that's what he saw. According to his system, all right, you can't date, you know, anybody 18, you know, under 18, right? But you're doing this to little kids, all right? You can't kill. You know, you can't murder, but you going around the whole planet Earth, rape, robbing, and murdering. You see? Hypocrisy. All right? So speak ye, so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment, man. And that's what's fitting to happen to you, man. All you showed no mercy, man. All right? That's no mercy, man, what you do to these kids, man, and people in general. So when you get judged, it's going to be no mercy for you. All right? No mercy. Call her Lord Allah, Yahweh Bashimel Shah, Yahweh Ratazah. This was edifying. Papa Kashah, Papa Bo, Papa Bo, Abba Ha Ayapia, Abba Ha Ayapia. Shalom to the elect and to the few Aquap that do listen and learn. Shalom.